So you're posting on social media, you're trying trends, and maybe you've even hired an agency or boosted a few posts, and you're still not seeing more people walking through the door. In this video, you're going to see a simple framework that restaurants and other brands can use to turn social media into an engine for foot traffic, loyal regulars, and a community that actually fits their brand. By the end, you'll either know exactly how to run this process yourself, or you'll know if it makes sense to have me build it with you so you can finally stop guessing and start seeing results that match the quality of your food. Hey, I'm Daniel, founder of CreateWell, and my whole focus is helping hospitality brands become the go-to spot in their neighborhood using organic, social, and simple systems. I've grown my own audience to over 18K hospitality and brand owners in a few months and helped a client hit over 10 million views with the right audience in around 3 months without relying on TikTok dances or going viral for the wrong reason. If your food is great online but you feel invisible, what you're missing is not luck specifically or the right trend. You're missing a clear process that connects who you are, who you want to serve, and what to post every week. I see that a lot of brand owners are judging their social media by just views and likes and then wonder why they're not getting more bookings or regulars. Here's the hard truth. 1,000 views from the exact people you want to serve are worth more than 100,000 views from people who would never visit your city, never eat your food, and never become a part of your community. Social media today is interest media. The algorithm is literally trying to match your content with people who care about that topic. So if your content doesn't speak clearly to your ideal guest, the platform doesn't know who to send you. If there's one piece of advice you take from this video, it's this. You must know exactly who you are talking to and create content specifically for that person. Not everyone who eats and not anybody nearby, but a specific type of person with clear interests, routines, struggles, and reasons they would fall in love with your place over one down the street. When you do that, your content stops being random posts and start being a magnet that pulls in people who actually love what you offer and quietly pushes away the ones who were never going to be your guests anyway. Here's the framework you're going to see in this video. We're going to go over foundation, your story and dream customer, content pillars, what you talk about and what you don't talk about, research and idea bank, which is 50 plus proven concepts in a Google Sheet, execution and testing, and automation and conversion. This is the same structure used inside my neighborhood effect system, and when you stack each part, that's when social goes from confusing to more predictable. So we'll start with step 1, foundation. Why does your restaurant, cafe, or bakery exist beyond we serve food? Is it comfort after a long day, a creative spot for students or freelancers, or maybe a late night hangout? When you don't know the story and core experience you want people to come for, your marketing feels like a mix of random trends and never add up to a clear reason to choose you. Now, for your dream customer, I want you to imagine one person who loves what you do. When do they come in? Before work, during lunch, or maybe late at night? What do they care about? Is the speed that they get their food to the table, the vibe, the quality? What is stressing them right now? Is it time, money, burnout? When you can describe this person like a close friend, you can talk to them in a way that feels obvious and personal. Step 2 is the content pillars, or in other words, you can say your brand's TV show. Once you're clear on who you are and who you're speaking to, you turn that into content pillars. You'll create 3 to 5 themes you repeat over and over so people know what your brand stands for. For a brunch cafe, that can be behind the scenes, like prepping, plating, and showing the team, guest stories, education, and showing the vibes of the interior, exterior. Keeping it to a few pillars stops you from posting random, off-brand topics that can confuse people, and it also makes content creation easier because you're not starting from a blank page each time. Step 3 is researching and building that 50 plus idea bank. Now that you know what your content pillars are, it's time to go out and research what's already working. You can start off by looking at local competitors who are doing well online, similar concepts in other cities, or even hospitality creators showing restaurant growth case studies like myself. The goal is not to copy, it's to learn the frameworks, the hooks to use, the angles that get comments, the visuals that stop people from scrolling. Then you drop everything into a simple Google Sheet and organize it all into there. You want at least 50 pieces of content in that sheet so that on a busy day, you're not trying to be a creative genius and you're just pulling from proven ideas and putting your own creativity and story onto them. Step number 4 is adapting without copying. And this part is super important. You don't just copy your competitors and hope it works. If, say, someone posts day in the life of a 20-year-old cafe owner, you don't film their day and steal their words. Use the hook structure and show your real day, your team, your guests, and your routine. Same with carousels or graphics. You can be inspired by a layout or structure, but your colors, fonts, photos, and wording should all feel like your brand, or you end up looking like a duplicate version of someone else instead of category of one. When you adapt frameworks instead of copying, you build a reputation as the original in your lane. Step 5 is the execution phase. This is when we start posting and testing. With your sheet ready, you pick 5 to 10 ideas that feel closest to your brand and your dream customer and turn them into content. If you're currently posting once a month or once a week, it's not enough volume to learn what works. You should aim for at least 3 times per week and scale up to daily if your schedule and systems allow. And look, the first goal is not perfection. It's always going to be data. You're looking to answer which topics get saves and shares, which hooks actually stop the scroll, and which post brings in comments and DMs from people who look like your dream guests. From there, you double down on what works and cut out what doesn't, instead of randomly trying harder with the same content that never performed. I want to go a bit deeper on the power of hooks. Hooks are the first 1 to 3 seconds of your video or the first line in your caption, and they decide whether people stay or scroll. When creating your hooks, you want to use the words and visuals that call out your exact person, like their location, their lifestyle, their cravings, problems, or maybe even desires. When you know your dream customer, writing strong hooks becomes a lot easier because you're just speaking directly to their brain instead of shouting into the social media void. Storytelling and showing the experience. Food pics alone are not a strategy anymore. Everyone posts nice photos, and I'm not saying don't post photos anymore, but your social media should feel like a movie trailer for the real life experience of being in your restaurant. The way guests are greeted, the energy of a busy night or a cozy morning, and even the small touches like remembering a guest's order or going the extra mile for someone. These stories build emotional connection and trust that turns you from some place that posts food into a brand people feel loyal to and proud to support. And when people feel that, they don't just like your post, they show up, bring friends, and they talk about you offline. You're running a business. You don't have 6 hours a day to film videos. That's why a big part of the framework is EDC, employee generated content. You give your team a simple shot list, 5 to 10 clip ideas like pouring a latte, crowd shot, chef plating the dish, or guests laughing, and they capture these moments during the week. You or your content person then turn that into posts according to your pillars and your idea bank. So staying consistent takes about 2 hours a week instead of consuming your entire schedule. And then after 30 to 60 days of consistent posting, you review what actually happened. Which posts got saves and shares from locals, which ones triggered DMs like we're coming this weekend, or where are you located, and which ones completely just fell flat even if they looked good. If nothing is working, don't blame the algorithm. You go back to your foundations. Did you define your dream customer clearly, or are you still trying to talk to everyone? When you find a format or topic that performs, you don't move on, you build a mini system around it and make more like it. And that's how you become the trendsetter in your lane instead of constantly chasing what others are doing. Step number 6 is automation and turning views into butts in seats. Views are useless if there's no path from I saw you online to I'm sitting at your table. And that's where simple automation comes in. Tools like ManyCheck can automatically respond when someone comments a keyword like menu or brunch, and you can send them your menu or booking link or even a simple welcome message without you manually replying to every single person. You can set up flows like comment book to get the link to reserve a table this weekend, or DM us the word cater for our catering menu and pricing. This turns your content into a real funnel, so people go from scroll to comment to the automation to then booking to our email list without needing discounts or spammy offers. And this works across all niches, not only restaurants. Even though this video is speaking directly to restaurants, the framework is the same for almost any brand or creator. Know who you're speaking to, build content around what they actually care about, study what's working, adapt their frameworks, and test at volume. And then use long form and systems to build real trust and convert attention into customers. The reason hospitality is such a good example is because the feedback is immediate. When this is set up right, you start hearing, I saw you on Instagram or TikTok from real people in your building. Everything you've seen in this video is the exact process used inside my neighborhood effect system. When clients work with me, we clarify their story and dream customer, build their content pillars and the 50+ idea bank, set up shot lists and posting systems their team can handle, test and refine what works, and connect social attention to bookings, orders, and email with automation. The result is not more random followers, it's more of the right people in their seats more often with a community that actually matches their brand. If you're a restaurant or brand owner and you're tired of feeling invisible online, here's what to do next. Head over to my Instagram and comment the word packed on my latest post, or you can send me a DM with the word pack. It'll send you a short breakdown of this framework and a link to book a strategy call so we can map out what the neighborhood effect system would look like for your specific business. I'll also leave the links to my Instagram in the description below. If this feels like the missing piece you've been searching for, let's talk. I'll see you soon.